Last video, we discussed the history of Preston North End, and in that video, I failed to go over their rivalries, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about their main rival, Blackpool FC. Unlike Preston, Blackpool does not have the same highs, and for the most part of their existence, have struggled to survive. That being said, they finally are on the up again, so without further ado, let's begin. There is actually some disagreement over when Blackpool FC was founded, seeing as the game against Blackpool was recorded in 1880, but most would agree that the club was really an offshoot of St. John's FC in 1887. Their first year as a team was a success, winning the Field Cup, a competition for teams in Western Lancashire, and the Lancashire Junior Cup, in which they would beat Preston North End 2-1. In 1889, they joined the Lancashire League, finishing 5th of 13. For the next 3 years, they finished second each time. They lost to Bury by 3 points and 5 points in their next 2 seasons, and on goal difference to Liverpool the year after that. They avenged these losses with a win in 93-94. The following year, they missed out on the championship by 3 points, this time to Farfield FC. In 1896, they applied to join the English Football League and were inducted into the 2nd Division. That year, they finished 8th out of 16. Not a bad start, but unfortunately, an issue arose. The team had lost a whopping 1,183 pounds. By 1899, they finished dead last and failed to win re-election to the league. They rejoined the Western Lancashire League and, to many fans' dismay, merged with South Shore FC. Despite this, they were only able to achieve 3rd place and left the league soon after. Once again, they applied for the Football League, and once again they succeeded. The seasons before the First World War, nothing really of note happened. They continued to finish near the bottom, if not actually finishing last. They were able to keep their league status though, and stayed in the league until the First World War, when the game paused. After World War I, the league resumed. In the 1922-23 season, the club had its first real shot at promotion to the Football League. Unfortunately, with 5 games left, they lost 3 and tied 1. Soon after, their coaching staff left, primarily to Leeds United. In 1927, the team finally adopted their famous orange uniforms and were nicknamed the Tangerines, which stuck to this day. Jimmy Hampson was signed in 1927, and in 373 games he scored 252 goals, and is considered by many as one of the club's greatest ever players. With his help, they finally reached the top flight, first in 1930 with Hampson scoring a whopping 45 goals. By 1933, however, after 2 close calls, they are finally relegated and returned to League Two. In 1937, they rose again to the first year, and this time were there to stay. Sadly, they were without their top scorer Hampson, who died in a fishing accident that year. In response, the team finally started spending in the offseason, most notably Jock Dodds, who scored over 200 goals for the team. Early in the 1939 season, they sat first, but the season was cancelled due to the onset of the Second World War. During the conflict, they won the Lancashire Cup, the Football League was paused at the time, and the War Cup, beating Arsenal 4-2. The first year after the war, they finished 5th, which was their highest ever position in their history. They continued to do fairly well, not being relegated. In 1948, they reached their first FA Cup final, losing 4-2 to Manchester United. While the result was disappointing, that season they did beat their rivals Preston 7-0, so that must have been nice. 3 years later, they finished 3rd in the league, their best yet, and reached another FA Cup final, this time losing to Newcastle 2-0. In the 1953-54 season, they finally went all the way, with the help of another team legend, Stanley Matthews. 3-1 down against a strong Bolton Wanderers side with 20 minutes left, a Stan Mortensen hat-trick gave them the lead. This won them the game, and gave them their first piece of major silverware. This decade cemented them as a major team, with numerous 2nd and 3rd place finishes. However, they never won the league. By 1957, they no longer competed for first, but they saw out the 50s and majority of the 60s without fear of relegation. It was the high point for Blackpool, and after 1967, they only once reached the top flight again, and very briefly at that. This has been a very brief summary of the beginnings of Blackpool, and I hope to create a sequel to this if there is interest. As you can see, Blackpool was, and for the most part, is a very bleak team, not winning much. Luckily though, they had a golden era and were successful in winning several trophies. All in all, Blackpool was and is an interesting team, and I hope to make a sequel soon. I also just saw that Blackpool beat Birmingham 6-1 today, and they just avoided relegation in the championship. So maybe things are finally turning around for the team, and I really hope so because they have a quite interesting history. Anyway, thank you for watching.